It's a brand new day and a brand new week. This is Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV. I am Henry Igwebike. In a bit, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines to see what they have for us this morning, and after that, will be our main conversation also for the morning. While we get everything all put up for you, please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. With me in the studios to go through our newspaper headlines is Mr. Olusegun Okwade. He's a chartered accountant and also a public affairs commentator. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Henry, and good morning to all our viewers this morning.
Thank you so very much for giving us your time. So quickly, let's start up our newspaper with the Nation newspaper, and this coming from the big story there is saying petrol tanker owners suspend product loading, and that's on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. And also we have it, Shetima Akume Akpabio Wike hardship over soon, and you can get that on page 4 of that same newspaper. Stimulate local production to end forest crisis, and you can also get that on page 16 and 19 of the Nation newspaper. Mr. Sheson, let's talk about the issue of petrol tankers owners suspended production loading. And the question is, isn't this more than enough hardship in addition to the one already faced by Nigerians?
Henry, maybe on a very lighter note, let me say, if you ask me, now I will ask. With this, that means we are breaking the camel's back, finally. I'm sure you know what keeps every one of us moving. It's power, and petrol play a very strategic role. These days, there is no power supply.
There's no power supply.
Federal government has alluded to that. This morning, we heard about generation reducing to about 3,000 megawatts, which has not been in time past. Several collapsed, admitting to the fact that they've been load shedding across all the discos. So the only means everyone is actually doing, at least to have family bonding and survival, is to run the generator. And they have it there. Now the petrol tankers will be off the road, because when they stop loading, that means the one that we had as at Friday, it's what we have there. And trust the marketers. I can assure you, as we're speaking, more than 60% of the filling station will be under lock.
Because
they want to keep it. So we've been seeing that coming. Throughout last week, I bought fuel twice, and I had to queue to get the fuel. So we don't really know where we're going, and that's why we're asking the government. The reason why the tanker drivers are given are valid. The cost of diesel as at Friday that I bought in my office is 1,280. So imagine where we've always been augmenting with the major power supply, and you have to be on diesel for the 9 to 4 that we are working, because it's for the whole day. Before now, you can say, okay, you have it like 6 hours, 5 hours, use generator for a few hours. But now, you are there. So, it's for them to fuel their trucks with diesel that is high up there. They are still transferring the cost to the end user. So, if you feel that we can buy it in NNPC in Lagos here for 568, other filling stations for like 620, 630. Those that are moving it from here to the east, that is going to be about 800, 900, 1,000. And these are the same truck, aside the petrol tanker, the same truck are what we are using to move food, at least the available one, from those areas where they are being cultivated to where they are going to sell it. So we discovered that, can this government stay focused and major on the things that are more important? I don't know what explanation. I know they will call them to a round table, but the reality is there. They can start loading now. Well, I can tell you that a flip of few of those problems will degenerate into so much that is actually happening. So I must say that personally, I'm confused, in the sense that you wake up every day, it's one problem today. Today is the tanker drivers. Who knows what will become of us tomorrow. Now to move everywhere will become difficult. And when the logistic is not there, what can everyone do? The petrol are not selling, the diesel will not be sold. So what will we use to power and work? So are you going to now ask people to stay back at home? You can't work from home. So are you going to now pay salary?
Exactly.
So these are problems that people should look at. One problem created, we are battling with food. We understand that. Now you are going to put, behind the scene, I was talking to my friend to say, those days you stay at home and you don't want your children to disturb you. What will you ask them to do? Go and just put Disney Junior or anything for them. Once they are there, even they forget food. They forget food.
Yeah, true.
So they on their own, they can intentionally do 010. Just eat in the afternoon. Give them Disney Junior or is it Nickelodeon or whatever.
Yeah.
Just give it to them. They are there, they are glued and they're watching.
Yeah.
But now that you don't have power supply, so are you going to give them?
What are you going to? What is the?
So it's a problem, and we just feel that government should please look for a way to interject this and see how we can make this work.
And still on the Nation newspaper, we have Shetima Akume Akpabio wiki hardship over soon. Is this delusional?
Well, they are talking from their own perspective. Before you can say will soon be over, what are the roadmap that you have actually put in place to say this? So if you are saying that, I'm sure they mentioned this, they uttered that statement yesterday, and this morning we are hearing about the petrol stacker not loading. Is that part of the thing that will actually make things, go the way that they're actually talking? So until we see the roadmap, as of this morning, I heard, I have not confirmed, that dollar has risen to the cost of about 1,700. So is that the way to give us a relief? There must be certain things. Okay, waking up this morning, dollar has reduced from 1,500 to 1,480. You come tomorrow, it has moved to 1,475. It has moved to 1,400. By the end of the week, the same way it has, moved up, is coming, and then you say, we can see light behind the tunnel. But when you wake up and you see the problem being compounded on a daily basis, and these days, people like us are not free to move. Because I can say it boldly, I'm Ashiwaju boys. People said it then. He's an APC member. I will tell you, I don't belong to any party, but whatsoever you feel that, okay, this is our president. I came from a background that you must respect constituted authority. And that is our president. I fall in line to say, this man is going to do this. But as we speak, we are not boast to speak outside because we expected so much, but we are getting nothing. Not even saying getting a little, we are getting nothing. Because if where we started from is where we are, I'm sure we would have gone far. Businesses are folding up. You are only hearing of multinationals. Entrepreneurs can no longer survive.
And medium-sized businesses, of course, closing up.
When we talk of medium, I don't know what you're saying. It's not small and multinational, not medium any longer.
All right, so let's move on to the Daily Trust newspaper, and the banner headline here says, rising cooking gas price. Nigerians resort to charcoal and firewood, and the rider here says 12.5 kg nears 18,000 naira. That's really, really bad. And we have the sub rider here, environmental hazards looms, experts, and the federal government mounts an unfulfilled promise to crash prices of products in the market. And also we have it here, forest scarcity shrinks the domestic airlines fleet by over 50%. The federal government not sure of crime to charge a Emefiele, and that's coming from Akpabio. Bandits kill 21 in Kaduna, Katsina recruit minors in Sokoto, and hardship. Atiku, Catholic bishops flay Tinubu's policies. Let's talk about the issue of cooking gas. That was just what we were talking about in the last paper that we, talked about. Without cooking gas, Nigerians won't even have something to prepare meals with. Okay, that is the issue. And just a couple of months back, our president returned from Dubai on COP28 on,
green energy and the emission
and all. And right now, Nigerians are resorting to charcoal and firewood. Tell me, how are we contradicting these issues at the end of the day.
This reminded me years back when we were using sawdust. I don't know if you experienced that, where sawdust was an essential commodity for every home. So if the cooking gas is talking about close to 18,000, so now put an average family man who earns minimum wage of 30,000. Okay, let me just go with my state, Lagos State, 50,000. I think they've been able to hype the game. So you buy a cooking gas of 18,000 out of your salary for that month. So you are left with 32,000. So how many pounds of gari and how many pounds of rice can you buy?
Transportation, you know the most important thing. The person needs to go.
We now adopt the ancient way of doing. So when you are going some distance, you trek some and you jump. In fact, on your own, you ask the driver to drop you. So when they say this place is 100 and this is 200, so you drop on your own at 100 and take the trek. So when you are coming back, you do the trekking. You know, before now you say exercise is good for the body. So now we are practically, exercising ourselves without anybody enforcing it. So you discover that with the way things are going, some of us are not seeing the roadmap to make life more, affordable for an average common man. I said in a particular interview to say, before now we used to have the lower class, the middle class, and the elites. But as we speak, we have the elites, we have the poor, and we have the poor of the poor. So there is no middle class, and that is dangerous for every economy. The middle class are the one that absorb the shock. They start in between the elites and the poor, and they're able to take care of things. So as we speak, an individual, somebody was sharing with us to tell you that before now in churches or religious houses, you gather people and ask them that you want to share foodstuff to outsider. So those elites among them now provide the food. They are not sharing to outsider again. It's the church member that are now telling you to sir, leave outsider, we are your member. So charity begins at home. So is that bad? So if what you're supposed to give to people as a way of evangelizing them is what you are now sharing to members. So what becomes of the faith of those people
that you need to bring in?
So I think the government just need, all those problems are there. It's just an intentional act on the part. And for me, what I keep saying is that we are not addressing corruption. In all this, a lot of people are having their fun, enjoying themselves, and lavishly spending money out there. You go to some engagement, you ask, are you sure there is problem or poverty in the land?
This is Nigeria.
That's the country where we find ourselves. And a lot of people that are actually managing some of this, we are not asking questions. So is it until when we have individual now attacking people and we want kidnapping to go down? They are not kidnapping the lower level people. It is their almighty. It's disheartening.
Exactly.
It's disheartening. But the government should just try. We hear that they are doing their best, but their best is not being felt.
Good enough.
It's not. You see, when you say it's not good, you are not even seeing the good, or not to say it's not good enough. You are not seeing the good side of it. If as at Friday is 1,500 and something, and this morning we are talking of 1,007. As at this morning we are talking of the tanker drivers going off. We are talking about cooking gas going up. So what will be the cost of, if the tanker drivers are saying that, that means those trucks that are moving food, they have not come out with their own to say they will stop moving food. That means you hear a lot of states now saying those that go to do bulk buying
should stop.
Yeah. I want to satisfy people in my state. So a state like ours, that we cannot provide food. So does that mean we'll be eating fish alone?
And grass. Well, let's move on to our last daily for today. It's coming from the Punch newspaper and the big story, cost of living protest. Police warns against the violence as Labour gives a fresh condition. And the writer there says, avoid violence. Police warns Labour. AFDB says hardship may lead to social unrest. in Nigeria and others. Nigeria, Brazil plan new MOU as trade drops by $8 billion. 15 trucks of smuggled food intercepted in Sokoto. That's coming from the customs. And also, Naira weakens as banks' dollars sales plunge by $252 million. Federal government marketers meet today. Tanker drivers insist on strike. Now, it's for 27th and the 28th of February, the Labour are hoping to, kick off a nationwide strike, and the police are warning that it should be violent-free. Now, do you think this might be, possible? Going by the situation we have in the country. Of course, the intention could be a very peaceful one, but do you see it escalating beyond what the Labour plans?
Yeah, well, Labour will only initiate and give their commitment that it will be peaceful. But you don't know the intent of an average Nigerian.
True.
One thing we know is an hungry man is an angry man. And when someone is angry, you ask yourself, a woman that is staying with you in the house, that you both suffer to buy a TV because she's angry, picks up something and breaks the TV. Not few minutes after that is done, she comes to her consciousness. And she's saying what actually happened. So you cannot predict this that Labour is calling for. And for me, we keep saying it. Labour is just fighting for the civil servant. They are not fighting for an average citizen. Because we've asked the question, the last administration for 8 years promised us that the refinery will work. For 8 years, nothing happened. And we didn't go on strike for that. We did not see anything. We saw our leaders traveling out of the country for health tourism. Nothing is done. What do you even expect? Even when Joe Ajero was attacked in Imo, was he treated in the country? He had to flee out of the country for it. And that is the man that is calling out to come out on the street. So the period that he actually went for medical treatment, did he pay Naira? Or is it not the same dollar that we are complaining that is scarce, that he went there to go and spend? When we don't have confidence in the things that we have. So we don't have any hospital that can take care of NLC leaders. So as far as I'm concerned, if you out of my honest view to NLC, they should step down the issue of calling for strike because they can't manage it. I can tell you for free, they can't manage it. They only know of themselves because people are really, really angry. And they will be held liable. They cannot even guarantee if they will not be attacked the way people are perceiving them. So if you give it to me, I'll just tell them that let the sleeping dog lies. If it is the people that will actually motivate you so that you can save your name. They are not fighting for the masses. We are telling them they are not fighting for the masses because there are basic things we expected them to have done even before this administration that would have created a kind of relief on us.
Like what exactly?
The most one that is very fundamental is the fixing of our refinery and making sure that all our leaders stop this health tourism and promote our own. Let's domesticate things and make things happen.
The NLC has the power to do all of that.
Why wouldn't they have the power? When you are going on strike, what are you asking for? But most of the time you ask for indefinite strike, and after 1-2 days you call it up because you say people are because of the hardship, people needs to go out. The last time we had a very vibrant NLC was during Oshiomhole. It doesn't, he damned the consequence and he held the government, right out there. But when the master, the owner of the game, the master planner is now on the other side. So how do you the trainer that you train but does not even understand the intrigues of holding the government? But I can assure you all the engagement that the federal government we have with the tanker driver, with the labor, with everything, Oshiomhole will always be there. So when the master planner is there and we are talking, what exactly do you want to share with him that he has not passed through? Before he said, we know that's where you are going, Henry. But you see this and this and this already, this hour is done. They will lecture you, and by the time you are going out, you just say, well, my people, let's calm down. They said they are working on it. So that's where we found ourselves. But one thing I know is that beyond labor, government should be very sensitive. You know what AFDB said? People they just, it's a change of way semantics. Say there will be social unrest. So is it on social media we want to fight? The social unrest is that your environment might become ungovernable for you. And that's the message to the government. Exactly. I feel that the basic things like we have in Abraham Maslow needs to be addressed, of which food, security, and shelter plays a prominent role. And that is where we've seen the government failing as we speak.
Exactly. So that's just about the time we have for newspaper headlines. We'd love to say thank you to Mr. Olusegun Kowande. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Henry, for having me. And to our viewers, just want to encourage them that for every wife, check on the sanity of your man so that you won't start carrying the load all alone. If two of you are carrying it and complaining, imagine when that man sees me to be and it's not there for you. One thing we believe is that things on its own will get better.
Exactly. So when we return, Edo APC primary stakeholders fought Ozodinma on declaration of Idahosa as winner. That in a bit when we come back, please don't go anywhere. Olusegun will be right here with us to do justice to that also.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.